And we're live. What is going on, everybody? That was a fun show over on Catfish Weekly. As always, I did get timed out, though, man. That D is brutal, but I got even with her. I'm going to have to pay for that. All this fair and wrenches and timeouts, I guess. Love you, D. I want to say hello to D first off. Hello, D. I want to say hello to Betty. What's going on, Betty? How you doing? Katie, Dockery, how are you guys doing? Need to say hello to my regular peeps. I'll say hello to Lyle. They're probably finishing up with their guest and Chad and Josh over at the Weekend Angler. I still can't believe. Can you guys believe that Chad timed out his own wife?
That's crazy.
He'll pay for it.
He's going to sleep next to her.
Maybe not for a while.
You ain't kidding. You better sleep with one eye open. All right, I'm gonna holler out to everybody in chat. All right, here we go. 922 Crappie Barbecue in the house. What's going on? How you doing? There's my buddy Two Stans Fishing. How you doing, Stan? What's up? There's my sister Betty from A Couple Crosses Fishing. She is a channel supporter. Thank you, Betty, for your continued support. Adventures with Robin C. Hope your puppy's good, Robin. We got Annette's Catfished in the house. There's Avid Fisherman, Bobcat Outdoors, Brian B. Catfishing. He's a channel supporter too. Thank you for your support, Brian. I appreciate you. May your mac and cheese be creamy, hot, and topped with bacon bits, my friend. Catfish Viking in the house. How you doing, Zach? There's Chucky Morgan. Crappie Dave Fish on. He's also a channel supporter. Thank you very much, my friend. Donald Long. I think that's a new one. How you doing, Donald? Welcome to the show. There's my buddy Richard over at Fish and Freedom. Richard is a channel supporter. There's my buddy Fishing with Squirrel. How you doing? Freddie's Outdoor Adventures channel supporter. Freddie took a beating in yesterday's show and in the last show over Catfish Weekly. I'm sorry, but I know how you feel, Freddie. Thank you for your channel support. There's LG Bassin House. How you doing, Tom? What's going on? Thank you for being a supporter. There's Melissa, mod extraordinaire. How you doing, dear? PR in the house. What's up, PR? How you doing? Parker Pursuits. How you doing, Jerry? Pontoon Jody Catfishing in the house. How you doing, Jody? Real and Virtual Outdoors. How you doing, Troy? Thanks for sharing out our links as always. S&T Catfishing in the house. There's Daryl over at Trophy Secret Outdoors. I know Bobcat was calling him some pretty strange names in the other show, but he take it on the chin. Uncle Jeep, troll extraordinaire. How you doing, Jeep? There's Matt, want to be outdoors. How you doing? There's Real Gals Fish. How you doing, Stephanie? I think I got everybody. Annette, how you doing? If I missed you, I want to say there's Avid. How you doing, Avid? All right, I think I got everybody. Oh, and look at this. Freddie is a supporter for 14 months. Thank you very much, Freddie. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys check out the FOA rods that Freddie's going to be selling. I know the shipment's en route. You want to get in touch with him before Christmas so you can get a hold with him. Also, for those of you listening in, I know everybody likes the merch. My hats are en route to my house. I should have them this week. Also, I need to let you guys know that my merch through my merch supplier, if you go to the main page and click on the merch link at the top or on the About page, if you're looking at it on your phone, will be 35% off this Friday for Black Friday. So if you want to get a cool hoodie, a shirt, a bucket hat, which a lot of people have bought, they love them. Go there, get your 35% off. If you want a Catfish and Crappie hat, I'm going to have them. I'm going to have bait towels. You know what? If you guys hang around here till the end, I'm going to give away one of these bait towels at the end. So sit tight. Let me get this loaded up before we start the podcast, and we will do that at the end. I got a lot of requests for the bait towels, so I got a few of them made up, so you guys will be able. They're embroidered. They're the waffle material, and they come with a small carabiner, so a lot of people like them. Look at this. We got Brian B. Catfishing, member for 17 months. Cry me a river, Freddie, he says. Fishing Freedom, member for 14 months. Says, new hat coming my way. Awesome, awesome. All right, folks. Welcome to the Catfish and Crappie podcast. My name is Mark. Before we get the show started today, I need to give a big shout out to my channel supporters. Amped Outdoors. If you need lithium batteries, check out Amped Outdoors. Multibar. Colton Multibar is a great dude. Contact him through Facebook. He'll make sure to get those to you fast. And if you need anything specific, he'll be sure to take care of you. Of course, the great Uncle Lou from Uncle Lou's Tackle. He's always a great supporter of the show. A lot of them here on YouTube. Also, Port Barrington Marina. I want to give a big shout out to JT and Jimmy Forbes over there. They took good care of me all summer long. Also, JT, he breeds Frenchies, which is why I got Lulu and Dee. He took good care of me with them, so I need to give him a big shout out. Their links are in the description. Today on the show, we got Dustin, Sean, and Ryan. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Good. Thanks for having us, Mark.
The three of you guys are Team Snaggin Whiskers, right?
We also include my son Landon. He's just in bed right now because he's got school.
Oh, Landon. Oh, we don't want to wake. Do we need to be quiet so we don't wake him up?
He's upstairs.
All right, Landon. Big shout out if you're watching this after the fact. So where are you guys from?
Go ahead,
Mark.
Sean.
We're from Central Virginia, and we fish primarily on the James River. So we'll fish both sides of Richmond, the east side and the west side. But the east side is definitely our favorite. That's the home of the monster cats.
So how long you guys been out that way? Have you guys like lifelong cat fishermen on the James?
No. I've lived here my whole life. I've been a recreational fisherman probably my whole life, and I really got into it more as Ryan's gotten older. And Dustin took us catfishing. What year was that, Dustin? 2019.
About 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago.
Cool. And how did you guys meet? How did you guys start fishing together?
Dustin and I worked together, and we were working on a project together, and somehow or another we got to talking about boats and fishing, and next thing you know, I ended up on his boat, and we ended up down at the Benjamin Harrison Bridge catching blue cats. I'm like, I think I like this better than bass fishing.
Ain't that the truth? You know, I tried bass fishing for a little while, and I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I wasn't very good at it. So, and I got some friends who are really good at it, and they wouldn't help me. So maybe, are they my friends? Yeah, they're my friends. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Violet and Eric B. What's up, you guys? They're pretty good friends of mine, and they're, I consider them to be good friends of mine. Whether that goes the other way, I don't know, but they're excellent bass fishermen, whether it's largemouth or smallmouth. But I have to admit, and I'm going to hurt some feelings here, smallmouth make for some tasty sandwiches. I ain't even going to kid like that. Are you guys allowed to use bass on the river, on the James?
No, sir.
But you can use, are you guys using gill nets for bait, for shad?
Yes, sir.
That always amazes me.
Yeah.
It does.
A game changer.
I imagine it is. I just finally started getting into some big shad here on the Fox, and I see the fish that you guys pull out, whether it's Stan or Mike Chavez, and you guys, some of the shad you guys are able to get into with those gill nets. That's pretty good, but you got to be pretty careful with them, don't you? As far as, I mean, the gill nets, because is there a lot of bycatch?
Well, we were out a couple weeks ago. We dropped it at night, and we pulled in a couple of shad, but then we also had a small blue cat, and then what else did we pull in, Ryan?
It was a pretty big striped bass.
It's probably about a 16-inch striped bass.
Yeah, 16 or 20 inch prop, maybe closer to 20 inches.
Are striped bass something that you guys target at all, or is that just something you came across?
No, we don't target them at all. We just happen to get one in the net. We do occasionally fish for them down there on the LG Bass Lake Gaston area. But no, we don't target them while we're catfishing. We're just trying to pick up the shad and for the catfish bait.
Yeah, I've never targeted stripers myself, but my wife has caught one on some cut bait while we were catfishing.
I might have access to some wipers. I've caught them before. When I was a young man, some hybrids on that tip of canoe, but nothing of any size. So big stripers like on the Tennessee River, and the ones like out on the East Coast, the ocean ones that come in, those both are on my bucket list. They're definitely up there on the want to catch deal. We got a question here from Miss Melissa. She is asking, who's the main team leader of Team Snaggin Whiskers?
Ryan.
Is that true, Ryan?
Sometimes.
Oh, I thought you said who's the muscle on the team.
Oh, well, just Ryan's probably both, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I don't know that we actually have a main team there. I mean, we both do. We both have our strengths when it comes to this channel. We all have our strengths when it comes to this channel. I like to talk, so I do a lot of the talking. Sean can be the comedy relief when we're out on the boat. But Sean is doing a heck of a job as of late, putting up all our shorts and stuff. So, you know, a lot of credit goes to him for, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. I don't have a lot of time with, and neither does he. I mean, he's probably busier than I am when it comes to that kind into the, you know, the life stuff. But I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of edited videos, and you know, we found that shorts are a really good way at this point to grow our channel. So Sean's been killing it with the shorts. So
who does your video editing? Who's creating the shorts? Who's doing the videos?
It's a combo. Yeah, we go back and forth on the videos. I guess I probably do 90% of the shorts. And we try to post anywhere between 1 to 4 or 5 per day. And as far as videos, we kind of go back and forth on the videos. I think, Dustin, you just dropped one just recently, didn't you?
I did. Actually, just about 5 minutes before the show started, I just dropped one on the new rod rack we just put on Sean's boat. So,
yeah, I was watching that today. It's a good video. I want to remind everybody, if you haven't checked out their channel, make sure you check it out. We have links in the description. If maybe one of my mods could post those links in the chat box, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subbed to Team Snaggin Whiskers, I highly recommend you do. I binge watched some of your videos this afternoon while I was working, and there's a lot of good stuff there. Definitely.
We appreciate that.
4 shorts a day, huh? That's insane.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing the past, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And just looking at stats, I think we picked up between 400 and 500 subscribers in the past 4 to 5 weeks, mainly off the shorts.
That's a good way of picking up your viewership. Are you finding that your views have gone up in conjunction with the people that you're getting? That's cool. How about TikTok? You guys posting those same shorts over to TikTok?
I started a TikTok a while back, and I have a hard time getting into it. I mean, I'm older, and I don't know. It's not quite my thing.
At home, I'm pointing at me, pointing at myself. I understand.
I'm approaching 50.
Yeah, TikToks. I mean, I watch them sometimes, the TikTok videos, but for me, what we do is more of a, I don't know, I guess not family friendly, but it's more of we like the smaller audience. You know, it's hard to interact when you have, you know, 20,000 people watching you and chatting at the same time, trying to keep up with all that. I like interacting with chat. I like answering questions. I like telling people what we're doing. And it's hard to do that when you have so many people posting in chat. I just don't know that for me, I like it. I like the smaller environment that YouTube provides for us.
I get it. I've been live a few times on TikTok, and you're absolutely right. It's kind of like machine gun questions and stuff, which is fine. All you can do is answer them the best you can, and the stuff that comes across your peripheral. Somebody called me the Bob Roth of fishing on there one time. I thought I was going to get upset, but he's like, no, it's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's pretty much one of my memorable events, and I can talk from here until sun up about all the memorable stuff about conversations with people in the YouTube community we've had, whether it's in the chat box on other streams or even my own or during the live fishing events. I get it, but there's a place for everything. I've been trying to be a little more creative on the TikTok side in that short period of time that they're giving to you, and it's paid off pretty good. So I think it all depends on how you look at it and what you're trying to achieve. We got some friends here in the community, you know, obviously, you know, Haz and Ernie and even Chunky that are doing really, really well on TikTok. And Mark from Fishing Magician 2.0, he's been at it for a while. I don't even think he does lives. He just does the video content, and he's crushing it out there too. So
nice.
if you're a creator, you know, and you got some video laying around, see what you can put together. But I highly recommend, you know, be creative if you're going to do the videos. If you're going to do the lives, that's a different animal. But if you're going to do videos, the more creative you are, the more tactical you are about what you put together, you can definitely get, you know, 500,000, 1 million views on a piece of video. And that does spill over into the YouTube stuff. So if you're a creator on either side, as far as the user experience goes, yeah, they're different. I'm sure that Ryan down there enjoys TikTok a little more than YouTube, huh, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the same goes for Landon. There's a big age gap there, which is fine. I remember when I was Landon age, I was, you know, giving the finger to all of my old folks and all the older people that were trying to do it. So I kind of get it. I don't fault them for it at all. So it happens to everybody. Anyways, there's my tirade on all of that, or my rant on that, but it is. I see a couple of people came in here. I see Justin's Fish and Fetish. Hope Gabby's doing good. I want to say hello to Fish Shizzle. How you doing, Fish Shizzle? There's Bobcat. In case I didn't shout him out, there's Trophy Seekers again. There's my buddy Super Smurf Eric. There's Susquehanna Stan. And I think I got everybody again.
Awesome. Well, hey, Ryan just wanted to pop in for a second. He's got school and basketball tomorrow. I just wanted to say hi, and
Ryan, it was nice meeting you. Say good night to everybody out there in podcast and YouTube world.
Good night.
All right, look at that. He didn't even flinch. Most kids would be like, you got a good kid there. And if he's doing them shorts for you, I can't. I'm jealous. I can't even get my wife to be a camera person on a fishing trip. She won't do it. And you know what fascinates me is the dynamic between you two. I got a bunch of guys that I fish with, and I'm not even kidding. I'm not stretching the truth or anything. I tried to get them to do YouTube literally for 3 years before I even started, and they wanted nothing to do with it.
We've got some of those friends.
Yeah, I can't even get them to come on my podcast so we can, you know, chew the fat on here and talk some smack to each other and about some other people we know. Maybe that'll change pretty soon. Hopefully it will. But it takes a certain person to want to be out there in the public eye, especially when you're sharing your passion, which I know mine is fishing, and I'm guessing the same for you too, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There we go. I went on another rant. So what are some of your favorite fishing moments together? Putting you on the spot here.
Well, I'll start. I got to say, like, probably our biggest fishing moment together was during the Pontoon Jody Thursday Night Flathead Challenge. And I think it was probably the second one that we were in. And it was late in the night, probably in that 1 o'clock hour. We were kind of tired. And I think the high tide was coming in. And we were up near the city in Richmond on the James, and all of a sudden the bite was just on, and it was 1 30-pounder after the next 40-pounder, and I forgot how many we landed, but it was four over 30 within like an hour. And you know, you can see we're not spring chickens, and we were wore out and excited, and it was a moment to remember.
Yeah, that was absolutely our first really, as our best fishing night up to that point. We'd only been fishing. I mean, we've been fishing together for probably about 1.5 years now. We've been doing YouTube on the same channel as Team Snaggin Whiskers for just over 1 year now. And I have to say, my favorite fishing moment goes a little bit further back, and that would be the very first time that I took Sean and Ryan out on the boat. We went out a little bit downriver, and we were catching some fish. They had never been really catfishing before, because of course Ryan is a bass angler, and Sean was a bass angler as well. And so we took him out. We hooked into a few small catfish, and then we just took a trip. We went all the way down from the Benjamin Harrison Bridge all the way up to the 95 corridor. We passed Jimmy Dean's place on the river, just doing some sightseeing and just hanging out with them, and a little bit of fishing we did in the beginning, and knowing after it was done that I just saw the look in his eye. He was hooked, and it was from that point forward. We've been fishing pretty much almost at least once a week for the last 1.5 years together, and it's I look forward to every time we go out. There's always something to look. There's always something new that comes up. You know, I'm always excited. Who's going to catch the bigger fish? Who's going to break their PB? And it's just anytime we go out together is exciting for me.
Yep.
And once it's not, then that's when it ends. At least for me, it is. So I know some people have it. No, we're not going to get into that. Uncle Chief has a question. He says, "Is bacon an essential food packed on all your fishing trips?" Asking for a friend.
Well, personally, I typically don't take anything out on the boat that I have to use my hands too much to to eat. So things that are in packages or I don't particularly like shad flavored bacon. I don't know about you, but
I don't care. Bacon is bacon. Bacon is life. You guys all know my fascination with it, at least out here in the chat group. They do. I love me some bacon. I've eaten bologna sandwiches covered in shad scales. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it's still got the bite to go. So I don't know. Everybody says that as soon as you start eating on a boat, that's when the fish start to bite when you're busy eating. Yeah. I think if you're eating stuff with shad scales on it, it magnifies the effect. So maybe everybody should try it.
Mark, I'll tell you what, Dustin's not a big eater when we're out fishing. I'm always like, I got to get like that 14-inch sub at Wawa. And, you know, Ryan will eat snacks the entire time we're fishing. Dustin doesn't eat. He doesn't drink. It can be 100 degrees outside. I'm like, he's not eating or drinking.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree with Dustin on this. I'm kind of the same way. Usually I'll buy like those little packs of trail mix. If I got some like bacon left over, I might throw a few pieces in there. If I'm fishing an all-nighter, I might grab something with probably more sugar than this old guy needs to eat, because sugar will keep me up at night. But other than that, I never really get hungry when I'm on the river. But, you know, when it's a slow night, when you're fishing flatheads, it can be a long night, and you know, if you're not going to grind through it, and you're not going to be very successful at it. So do you guys target flatheads at all? I guess is my next question.
Well, we have matter of fact, funny story with that first pontoon Jody challenge we did. It was our first one we did together, Sean, when we had 200 pounds, just over 200 pounds in 4 hours of fish. Mm-hmm. We fished with all live bluegill, and the whole point for Jody's challenge is flatheads. And in the upper part of the river in the city where we fish, there's a lot of tree overhang on the bank, and a couple of little eddies that shoot out, so a lot of rocks. So we were actually, believe it or not, targeting flatheads, and we caught nothing but blues and channels all night long.
Yeah, channel cats will take the live bait like nobody's business. If they think there's an injured one anywhere near, they'll either finish the job if they can't, take the whole bait, or they'll take the bait. Some of my bigger channels here on the Fox, like in the 14-pound range, have been, on 9-inch bluegills, surprisingly. So.
Yeah, I think we caught was a 17-pound flathead out of that very first spot. That was kind of what put us on that spot in the first place.
Yeah.
And does that spot continue? Does that spot continue to pay for you?
In the springtime.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny on the James. Sometimes we'll accidentally hook into the flatheads too. The other night we weren't targeting them, and we what was that one? That was 17 or 18 pounds, I believe.
Yeah, on a piece of cut shad.
Yeah, just in the middle of the channel, which was crazy. So, yeah, sometimes we get them by accident, but yeah, we have targeted them before.
Yeah, I've caught my biggest flatheads on smallest pieces of cut bait, to be honest with you. A lot of people say you got to use live bait, and I think live bait helps, but I don't think the big ones care. I think there's a mix between getting them. I think it's definitely a mix in getting them while they're traveling. If they come across that bait, they're going to go after it. I think live bait's better during the day because it'll call them in. If there's one within 100 yards and they can feel, with their feel a bait struggling near them, I think they're going to investigate. But
right.
That's just trial and error over the years. That's what I like to think is right. We got a question here from Stephanie over at Real Gals Fish. She says, what are y'all's plans for your channel this coming year?
You want to take that, Sean?
Yeah, well, of course, we talked about the shorts earlier. We've been trying to put a video out every week, so we're trying to do a weekly video. whether it's, our fishing trip for the week, like a recap, or like Dustin just dropped a video on a DIY. That's the big thing. And of course we try to do, I don't know, anywhere between 3 to 4 lives a month also. So we're trying to get part of the lives, part of the, the edited video. And then, like I said, 1 to 5 shorts, per day is our goal for actually growing our channel. If you want to expand, Dustin.
I was going to say, we don't have, I don't know that we have necessarily any plans for the channel at this point. We have some things we're talking about for the near future, that I think we can tie our channel into, that will be a good segue to what we're looking at in the future. We're just talking about some things in the next couple of years. But right now we're just out there having fun. We both love fishing. We both love pulling in them big blues. We love doing it together. It's a lot of fun. When the kids are out on the boat, it makes it that much better. When fishing's fun. When you can share it with your friends and family, it's even better.
Right. And we get a lot of people too asking, hey, can we come out with you all, like people that we know locally or even that we know from YouTube? So we've really enjoyed having like other people come fish with us that don't normally fish our area. So we've really enjoyed that aspect of it also. We've had some of the guys from the Schuylkill come down recently that fish with us. And we've had some local guys have fished with us also. So that's been a neat part also, is sharing this with other people.
Absolutely.
That brings one question to mind. You guys having any spot poachers? Because you guys being on YouTube, how are you guys dealing with all that?
Well, one thing I always say, there's not really any secrets. The river's big. If we go to one spot, there's somebody. I know where there's another spot. There's not. To me, if you want to come down and fish the James, if you want to say, hey, where would you go if you were in this area? I'm going to tell you. If we're going to go out there and you've asked where we think you might go, then if we think you're there, we'll go somewhere else. And there's not, like I said, it's a big river. It's a lot of miles between the city and downriver where we fish near Herring Creek area. So there's not. I don't necessarily think we've had any people poach any of our spots. So on a boat, it's different than on the bank. Like here on the James River, you've probably got maybe 10 to 15 good bank spots on both sides of the river for the entire stretch. So there's not a lot of bank spots, but pretty much everybody knows about those ones anyway. So unless you found a hidden one that nobody knows about, then
I only fish those spots, so I don't film those spots. I don't go live on them. I don't film them, but I do pretty good on a couple of them. But other than that, any other spot that I mainly fish, whether it's in my boat or on the bank, they're pretty much community holes. If I want to fish a spot under the and not let anybody know, I'll do it at night. If anything, at night, you don't know where you're at on video. There's a few diehards out there, but they know where I fish anyway, so it don't really matter. But someone who's, new to the game, who doesn't know me, who doesn't see me on the river, they have a hard time figuring out where I'm at. So yeah. I know a lot of people that get upset thinking that I'm giving away spots. So do you guys ever run to anybody like that?
I haven't.
No. And poaching spots, we stole all the Stan spots, so we're probably guilty of it.
Speaking of Stan says, congrats to Sean on his new PB Blue during the tourney on Saturday. What did you catch? Why don't you tell everybody what you got?
We got a blue cat, and he was right at 34 pounds. So that was kind of cool on the James River versus the Tennessee Challenge this weekend. So he came about, what do you think, Dustin, maybe 2 hours into the tournament?
Yeah.
2 hours, and he was I think I was sitting in about 29 feet of water, kind of on the ledge of the channel, down towards Hopewell, Virginia. So it was quite a takedown. I think I just posted a short a couple of hours ago, so if you want to go back and watch the short, and it's on the new rod rack that Dustin designed, and it's it was a good fight. So, and I actually had a friend of ours, Dave, was on the boat with me for the first time, and he got to net that monster, and it was tough getting him in that net, but we had a good time catching him.
The funny thing is, I pulled my PB out that almost that same exact spot a week earlier. I pulled a 50 out of that almost same exact spot.
Yeah,
That's a big fish. I don't care what anybody says. Either of them. You said it was a 38 pounder, right, Sean?
34 pounds.
34 pound or a 50 pounder. They're both very, very, very respectable fish. You know, a lot of people that are listening here, they don't have fish that are available to them like that. So,
Right.
you know, every now and then somebody like myself might trip across a good fish. But if you're out there grinding, it's going to happen more often. I guess that's my whole opinion. That's actually how I look at it, you know, for myself. You know, if I get on a big fish, I consider myself lucky, if anything. So I use a lot of textbook tactics and I go from there. And the reason why I bring that up is because you had mentioned a ledge. If you're a catfisherman at home and you're just getting onto a boat, or if you've been on a boat for a long time and going from like bass to catfish, use the textbook tactics, only a little deeper. Points, right? Rocks,
Yep.
any structure, ledges, or how they travel safely back and forth, stuff like that. You're going to get lucky more often. That's how you get on the big fish, is putting that time on those textbook spots. So,
Yeah,
and that goes back to, you know, spot poachers and stuff. There's those kind of spots everywhere. Some might be a little better than others, but other than that's my whole feeling on it. And I really think that, you know, the guys that I used to fish with that refused to do a YouTube channel with me and be my partners in this whole thing are too afraid about giving up what they consider to be great spots. But that's another thing.
I'll tell you one of the things I've seen on some of the guys that catch a lot of the monsters, like the 60, 70, 80, 90 pounders out of the James. When you see them post videos or pictures, you're seeing the horizon. You're not seeing land. You're seeing the person, the fish in the sky, because they're not showing you where they're at.
uh-huh.
Put your camera low.
Yep.
Shine it down.
Put your camera low and shoot up into the sky. That's a good trick to use. When you're talking a fish of that caliber and that size, and you're going to release that fish, you know, do like Spencer over at River Certified does. If you're going to release a video, give it a few weeks, if not a month or two, before you release that video. Give that fish time to skedaddle out of there. Blue cats, you know, I've had talks with Lyle and stuff, have been, you know, GPSed and known to travel 600 miles on the Mississippi. I imagine it's pretty close on the James River too. How do you guys have any idea how big the James River is from start to finish? It's pretty long, isn't it?
It runs from the one side of the state to the other. I don't know exactly how long. Stan might know in chat. I know as far as the tidal section that we fish, I think it's about 180 miles, 175 miles from the bay up to the 95 bridge.
Yeah. The tidal section, I believe, is like 170, 180 nautical miles. But yeah, once you get on the east or west side of Richmond, the non-tidal section, that goes, I guess, all the way to West Virginia, I would imagine.
All the way up to the mountains, yep.
Yeah, so I don't know how
I
far
think it's one of the only rivers that runs the entire length of a state.
How about it like dams and spillways and stuff? Are there some of those on the James, or is it pretty much free flowing?
There are actually. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was just going to say that we have the Bosher Dam, which is one of the dams on the west side of the city. And there's a stretch there where you can put boats in, and there's I don't know, maybe one or two public boat landings. And I think it's a 12-mile stretch where you can actually put your boat in there. And there's some decent blue cats, and it's decent flathead fishing in there also. We don't fish that area a whole lot. And actually, it's right here in my backyard. We don't fish it that often. We go down towards the other side of the city on the east side. But there is that section on top of that 170, 180 mile stretch of the James River that you can actually put a boat in.
I'll tell you, when we like I said, we usually fish the lower section, the tidal section of the James, but we did go up for Jody had her Flathead tournament, and we actually put in the upper James, and I was shocked at the difference. Like when we go down to the lower part of the James, it's murky water. But you go up to the upper part of the James, which is only about a 20 difference, and you're looking at 5 to 6 feet of water. I can see the bottom. It's clear, you know, it's clear as day. So I was shocked to see how clear that water was up there. But I know it's mountain water too. So
right,
yeah, it's a lot of runoff and stuff. So
yeah, when you get down towards the dam, it gets down to 15, 16, 17 feet down there. But like I
Right.
said, it's a 12-mile run from the boat ramp. So you got to have the time on your hands to make the run to get down there where the bigger fish are. So,
Yeah. What kind of boats are you guys fishing out of?
I've got a low roughneck. It's an 18-foot boat, 1860. Run a little Honda 60 horsepower motor off the back.
So what are you doing top end on that?
Low 30s.
Yeah, that's, to go how many miles you said it was? 16 miles?
It's about 12 miles from the
12
ramp.
miles. Yeah, that
down
takes
to
a little while to go. And I know for a fact I'm running a 40 and I fish like an 18-mile stretch of river, and it's a 20-minute ride from one end to the other, 30-minute ride. So
Yeah.
I
there and
fish.
back.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Dustin.
My boat is actually a not a fishing boat.
I noticed the ski pylon in the back every time I see it.
Yeah, that's it's actually a Bayliner Element.
Okay.
It's a Bayliner Element XL, which is their 18-foot model.
Mhm.
It's kind of a mix between a pontoon and a V bottom. It's called an M hull, so it's a lot more stable.
So is it like a tri-hull, kind of similar to a tri-hull?
Kind of, yeah. So it comes down on the outside, then goes up, and then comes back down to the V.
Yeah. Okay.
So they call it Bayliner calls it an M hull.
Okay.
So I really got that. We had a V bottom at first. Me and my family had a V bottom. But my dad, when he lived in the area, he had some strokes and he had a hard time keeping his balance and walking. And getting him on that boat was scary, because if he fell in, I don't know what he'd be able to.
Yeah. How do you pull them out? Yeah, I
Right.
can relate with that, definitely.
So we looked and we found this boat, and it serves both purposes. Like it's got a 90 horsepower 4-stroke on the back, a Mercury, which is quiet as all get out. I mean, you ask Stan,
Yeah.
we'll sit there and he'll be like, is the motor running? I'm like, yeah, it's running. But anyway, that I can get probably 35, 40 miles an hour by myself with my 90 horsepower. But
Nice.
it's kind of fun because when you're riding on that boat and you make a churn, the boat doesn't tilt. It's like you're fishtailing in a car. You kind of just slide around the corner.
Yeah.
So it's real fun. I love the boat. It's great and that's why I made the rod rack that I did for my boat, because I can take those outside rod holders that are on the perf tubing on the outside. I can take those off and stow them, put rubber caps on, and now the back seats on the back of the boat are free for the kids to jump off of and climb up on and stuff like that. So
yeah, ingenuity keeps you on the water longer. If you can keep the family happy and then get out there and fish, I have no problems with that. I'm not a pontoon guy myself, but I definitely understand pontoon boats. Trust me.
absolutely.
Had one for a long time. I had a Bayliner too. Our Bayliner treated us really well, but that was a long time ago. I had a bow rider. Pretty good stuff. They're great boats. I don't know what the price points are, but when I had mine, we were just getting into boating, so it was at the good price point back in the day. I don't know what is that true to this day too, Dustin?
Well, my boat, I actually so the Element is actually Bayliner's it's kind of their entry level boat for at a lower price for beginning boaters.
Mm-hmm.
My boat I think off the showroom floor, it was a 2015. I didn't buy it. I bought it. It was 2 years old when I bought it. And I bought it in 2017. It was 2015, and I paid 15 for it even.
Nice.
The motor still had two years left on the warranty left on it when I bought it.
That's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah.
If you can get into a boat and save that kind of money, why would you, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, I'm looking at boats that are like 3 to 5 years old and they're taking like $30,000 hits in them. It's like,
yep.
Crazy.
Do I want to take that hit or do I want somebody else to take that hit?
Yeah.
So how did you guys come up with the idea for the rod rack on your channel?
So was that a necessity, really?
Yeah.
I did not, because I didn't want to cut into the fiberglass on my boat to put rod holders in. I was always trying to figure out where I could only fish with like 2 or 3 rods at one time because I had nowhere to put them. So I think maybe about a year and a half ago, I actually put my first rod rack, which was just lumber. I took a 1x4 and I cut some notches out of it, and I slid it in at an angle, and then I slid it down onto where my tow bar is, and then I bolted it down with some U-bolts, and then put the rod holders on the outside, and there you go. I mean, I could always take the U-bolts off, lift it up. I had to take this is one of the reasons I modified that. I had to take the rod holders off one side.
Danny, keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off. I just didn't want to forget to read that.
Leave it to Danny. So I actually cut that one in half, and I put some clamps on it to try to get it so I could actually take it apart from the middle and slide it out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed something that was a little bit more versatile, but more not stable, but permanent. So now I have that 1-inch perf tubing is perfect. Like it's just wide enough where it sticks off about 1.5 inches off either side of my tow bar, and the other it's solid. I love it, and I use the same perf tubing for Sean's, and it's so much easier for the YouTube aspect for his boat. It's so much easier to be able to see all the rods in one spot.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And there's nothing better than a good, setup for your rod racks in a boat. I went from using some smaller ones that served me well. I'm not going to name the brand of those to going with, with the multi bars, and I'm not turning back. If I could build something as good as that, I would. And if you're listening on a podcast or you're out in chat, if you're looking for some rod racks and you're not as handy as some people, give Colton a shout out. Links in the description. Danny Stone Outdoors made a comment here that I highlighted. It kind of threw us off our game a little bit. He says, I bought a boat at Walmart last week, but passed out blowing it up. So we thought that was kind of humorous. Danny's always making everybody smile in chat. So if you listen to the podcast, come on over to the my YouTube channel, Catfish and Crappie, and join in the fun every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So
did that boat float, Danny? I mean, did it float away? Because I think you're full of hot air sometimes.
Sometimes. Also, we want to remind everybody in chat that we are going to do a giveaway for one of the new Catfish and Crappie bait towels. Though a lot of people have been asking for them. They see them on my live feeds and stuff. So if you want a chance at winning that, you got to be in chat. And I see there's my buddy Takedown Catfish and just came in too. What's going on, Kenneth? How you doing, Knucklehead? That's a pet name for us. That's not a bad name, folks.
We like Kenneth. He fishes close to us. He's right down the street from me.
Kenneth is good people. There's so many good people that I've met and had the opportunity to fish with. Everything from, going out to Ohio to fish with the crosses. I got to meet the whole Ohio gang, including, Roger and Whisker Pig and War Pig, all of them good people. And Justin's fishing fetish to fishing with Lyle and Chris over at Hooks and Hammocks up in Mendota. Got to meet, Rob and Parker. Just the list never ends. I'm really happy that I've taken part in all of this. So
yeah, we're looking forward to hopefully doing that in the future too. I guess that's one thing that I'd say that we have kind of on our list of things to do is travel to some more places. We did get to travel out to the dock to fish with Tom, and we met Melissa there and ate some great food. And then, of course, we had some folks, Ed Evans and Jeff Beal from the Schuylkill River in Pennsylvania, came down to fish with us on the James. Of course, we live right next to the mayor, 2 stands. So stand 2 and stand 3. So we get to fish with him quite often. So we're looking forward to
how far are you from Stan?
What's that?
Are you literally like really close to Stan? I didn't know that.
15 minutes from his house. I pick him up every time, a lot of times when we go fishing.
Oh, nice. Good for you guys. I'm sure Stan appreciates it too. Stan loves to fish, and he'll go out every chance he gets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we like staying on the boat. Nothing beats
a huge help to
staying
us
on the boat.
I'm telling you, when you're live streaming, either having somebody reading chat or even better, having Stan on there, he does a good job with handling everybody in chat. So when Stan gets to talking, look out. He's there. He'll start throwing up them twos like a madman. So, what are some of your opinions about getting into this whole YouTube thing? I mean, have they all been good? Anything bad out there happening?
I'll let you go first, Sean.
we always hear all the stuff about, all the bad stuff that's going on. And, Dustin and I, we've chatted about it, on and off. And, our experience has been good. We haven't really seen the bad side of it. And maybe, we're newer, but we're not brand new. So maybe we just haven't experienced it yet. So we've, it's all been pleasant. We enjoy everybody that's out there, in the chat. And, we've, I don't know. It's been a good experience for us.
Very cool. How about you, Dustin?
Yeah. The YouTube thing has been, I know when I first started, I remember sitting in the kitchen talking to my wife, telling her, thinking about starting a YouTube channel and all this stuff. And I was nervous. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. I didn't know what I was going to say. But once I hit the camera, I just started talking and it felt comfortable. And like I said, we've met a bunch of awesome people, and we've heard a lot of things from a lot of different people, but nothing that has actually touched our channel or affected us in any way. I don't know if that's because we just don't let it, or if we kind of just do our own thing and we're enjoying the journey. So, whatever happens. If it's bad, then we talk about it off camera sometimes. But it's nothing that kind of sticks with us because, like I said, it's one of those things that if it doesn't affect you directly, then there's really nothing much to talk about, right?
Right, pretty much. I always say it's none of my business what other people think of me, and I think a lot of the drama that you hear echoes of is self-made stuff that doesn't need to be there. I did a little research, and if you guys are listening, there's 19 million searches a month on YouTube alone just for the word fishing. Wow. 19 million every month. If you can't get some of that traffic, you're not trying hard enough, plain and simple. So that's all I'm going to say. It being self-made drama. Other than that, a lot of people have co-hosts and stuff on their show, and I've had a little bit of drama about me doing this stuff. So, and it's just like I don't want to impose on anybody to be up here with me every Monday night. First, and second off, it's like I like doing what I want. I don't play well with others sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, but I like to fish with others. So maybe someday if we're close, we'll fish together, guys. I need to get up there on the James. I'm really looking forward to it. I got a list, but the running joke and the Weekend Anglers definitely started this joke because I'll always, I always get these grandiose ideas that I'm going to travel and fish with everybody, and I'll ask their zip code, right, just to see how many miles it is, and then I look and it's like, oh my God, 16 hours. Holy smokes, that's a long drive. I ain't going there. So that's kind of the running joke, but
hey, you're
if I was
always
younger man, I'd do it.
Always welcome to come to the James River. You're always welcome.
Thank you. And guys are always welcome up here. We do that spring trip up here I was made to promise I wouldn't mention the place that we go to in the spring. So if you guys are interested in coming out to my neck of the woods in the spring, I'd be happy to give you directions and where we're staying. But other than that, if anything Luke Henges has taught me is don't talk about that spot like we talk about that spot. So get on some big channel cats if you're ever interested in that. So
all right,
cool.
Look at this. Mr. Murillo says, you don't scare me, Mark. Mr. Murillo's a big boy. Not too many people scare the agent. What's going on, Mike T? How you doing? Other than that, what are some of your dream destinations now that we're talking about fishing? If you could go anywhere and fish, where do you guys think you'd go?
It's a good question. Like anybody, like any angler or any good catfish angler or anybody you talk to, you always think your home water is always the best, right?
No, I don't think that at all.
Okay,
but I love my home water.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I think the James River is probably one of the best cat fisheries in the nation. But I don't know. I think for me, it's going to meet other people and fishing where they fish. Like I'd love to go fish with Jody at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I co-host Jody's show, and I see, the fish that they catch and the fun that they have, and I'd love to go fish with her and maybe Daryl from Trophy Seeker Outdoors. That's stretching it a little bit.
Oh, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to fish?
I know. Like I said, maybe.
Love you, Danny. Or Daryl and Danny. Why did Danny come to mind when we were talking about that? Subconsciously, sorry, Danny.
I would say Danny Stone, but he's in Missouri, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm originally from Kansas, Colorado, flat plains area, and I have no desire to go back there. But I'd love to go meet Danny and fish with Danny there. But
Bobcat says we can come bumping with him.
What's that?
Chickamauga Dam with Bobcat. He says, I'll fish with you. He'll take us bumping.
Yeah.
Right. I got a new rod and reel that I can bump with. Ancient Mariner came out with a new low profile reel.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that. Maybe I'll have to check that out. Oh, look at this. Dustin's going to go get that Ancient Mariner low profile. I didn't know they had them.
He just came out with it.
Let's take a look. Look at that bad boy. Now, let me see that compared to your hand. Is that a larger reel? Show me the side thing. You know how much line you can fit on that bad boy? Oh, yeah, that's a decent size reel.
It's for if you only use a 30-pound braid, it's 300 yards.
Okay.
I put 80 pound on here. I'm not sure how much I put on here. Probably 200, maybe 175, something like that.
Yeah, if you're bumping, you got to get them lines way back behind the boat. So the more line you can put on there, the better.
Huge power handle.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, my bumping setup, I got my rod from Lyle over at Black Horse Customs, and I got a nice Okuma Citrix that I like. I haven't bumped yet, but I use it for floating baits into log piles and stuff that I need to hold on constantly. So it kind of serves the same purpose. So that bumping is always something that I want to try. I really like my one destination. I want to fish with Lyle on the Missouri. I want to go bumping on the Missouri River. Go check that out and see what we can do there. I want to fish, bump Chickamauga with Bobcat. That'd be another. Those are my, and then outside of St. Louis too. Those are my 3 bumping destinations.
Yeah, Bobcat,
as far as like dream destination fishing, mine's usually on the other side of the world, having to do with a giant trevally. So
I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of flying, and I really, really have no desire to go anywhere that I have to fly over ocean for 16 hours. So
yeah, I don't really care about flying, so it don't matter to me. Something also, us cat fishermen and even us crappie fishermen, something about throwing 12-inch plugs for 2-3 hours a day that doesn't really get my goat, but something about having a fish that'll peel every ounce of line off your spool that kind of piques my interest. So Mike Murillo's got a question about whether the drag has a click on that, Dustin. I know that the Okuma does.
It does.
Mike. Oh, no, the drag, like when you turn the drag, is it?
Yes, I'm sorry, the drag. Yes, it does.
Cool. Yeah, that's a big deal. A lot of guys with these big round reels take a lesson from that. I don't know if it's just something that's going to break or whatever. So Black Friday is coming up. I want to remind everybody that me and Lyle are going to be on Chad's show, The Bait Shop. I'm hoping Freddie will make it, but after today, I'm not quite sure that's going to be possible. Because like I said, Freddie took a beating from our buddy Chad. So you guys got anything you need to buy on Black Friday?
Oh, of course we do. Of course we do.
I like the way you talk, Sean.
I've been looking at the electronics. I don't have the greatest electronics on my boat. I just upgraded. I don't know, maybe a year ago. I got the Tarova trolling motor put on the boat, which has been a game changer.
Great trolling motor. I got an Ultera. My next boat, I'll probably get a Tarova if I don't move this one over. I can't say enough good things about those trolling motors.
I tell you, I've been really looking at that side scan. I'd love to have some side scan and a little better imaging on the boat, but that's pricey.
Side imaging, there's some good deals out there, some really good deals on Black Friday. So go get you a Bass Pro Shop flyer.
I've been looking.
I think they start tonight, actually. And I shouldn't be talking like this because this one's going to be a few weeks out as it's posted on the audio. But, hopefully before Christmas, there'll be some other deals. So if you're listening to it on the audio, go out there and check them out. But there's some great Black Friday deals. Start saving for next year if you're listening on the audio through Apple or Spotify. So
I was real lucky. I got to go fishing with Zach Royce down on Lake Gaston last week.
Oh, really?
He's got that side imaging on his boat, and you can, we were striper fishing, and you could see those stripers coming at the boat from 100 and whatever feet away from the side. That is the coolest thing. And I hear that the flatheads, like, you can really, it's a game changer finding the flatheads with that side imaging. So I'd like to check it out a little further.
I've seen a few flatheads on side imaging, not much. I've caught fish where you haven't seen anything on side imaging. I consider myself a pretty good at the electronics on a boat. I've been doing it for quite some time. I've done a lot of research and stuff, and they're great. My biggest word of advice to anybody who's getting into side image: use it to find structure, fish structure. The fish will come to structure if they're not there right away. Use the textbook tactics once again. 15-20 minutes move, 15-20 minutes move if you're not getting that. Stuff like that. I got some good advice from some people I'm going to have on the show here in the next week or two. I'm waiting to hear back from them, and one of them's coming out on vacation. So keep your notification bells rung, people. Got some great guests coming on here that know their electronics probably better than anybody. So if you have any questions, let me know. Send them to me. I'll be happy to ask them. If not, you can always come in on the show and do it too. But back to side scans. Side scan's a deal breaker, especially in the shallow waters that I fish. So I use the heck out of it. If it wasn't for side scan, I wouldn't fish literally 50%, 60% of the places that I fish.
Right.
So,
right.
And here's another preview. We might be on to some live scope action here pretty soon. I got some ideas on how I might incorporate that, not just into my crappie fishing, but into my catfishing. So I know a few guys that do it successfully. So we'll see what happens. What brand do you like? What brand are you thinking of, Sean?
I'm open to whatever. I just have a cheap little hummingbird on my boat now, and I'm open. I'm open to whatever. I mean, I've looked at the Garmin's and the, I really just need to do more research on it and just kind of dig a little deeper into it to see what the best. What do you recommend, Mark?
I'm not going to call any brands out. I know that each one of them have their pluses and minuses. I know that I use Garmin because that's what I know. When people ask me what you should use, there's always a model in all of their lineups that's a good one. Do your research, stay with what you know. That kind of lessens the learning curve. Once you get up into the higher end units and stuff, it a lot of times it does a lot of it for you. So watch a lot of videos. You got any questions, reach out and ask people. Feel free to ask me. I can help you walk through stuff. So just learn to tweak your settings is all I'm going to say. Also, a real good piece of advice that I got is go out and don't fish a day or two. Treat it like a learning day. Go drive by a piece of structure is there. Figure it out. See what it looks like when you're driving by at an angle, straight next to it, this and that, and it'll give you an idea in your head about how to use said tools. So once you get it, it is a game changer. Not just marking fish, but finding those underwater points, those humps, those ledges, where the rock piles are, things like that. Those kind of tools are invaluable to me. So I don't know where I'd be without it. I know I'd have a lot less fish in a boat if it wasn't for electronics. I've caught fish prior to having electronics too, people. I'm not, there's that whole argument, real men catch fish without fish finders. But, if you're going to use a sledgehammer or a ball peen hammer to break up concrete, they both work. But what do you want to use?
Right. Yeah. I'll say that, we've caught a lot of fish and we both have like basic electronics. I mean, I honestly don't really use my fish finder that much. I more I'll look for the depth where I'm at and maybe find the ledge, and that's it. I mean, because a lot of times we won't even mark fish and we'll sit there for that 50. I don't think we marked anything. We were just sitting there for maybe 45 minutes to an hour before he hit. So, I mean, like I said, we've caught a lot of fish. Now, if it's a game changer, I'll be happy to double.
I mean, you start doing things like floating bait with light weights because there's that rock and you want your bait stuck in that rock or behind that rock. That's where that kind of stuff really helps out, where you start fine-tuning your fishing. There's going to be fish that come in around those boulders and stuff. Just as an example, things like that. I mean, the possibilities are endless on how it affects not just where you fish, how you fish too. So keep that all in mind out there if you're listening. So I'm going off on a tangent. So we're right at an hour here, guys. What do you say we do that giveaway real quick? Oh, actually, we'll do the giveaway here in a second. I want to, while we're doing this on a podcast, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. You guys are great. I want to remind everybody that the link to your channel is going to be in the description on the podcast as well as the YouTube video here. Also, links to the channel supporting companies are down there. Give them a visit if you happen to buy from them. Make sure that you let them know that I sent you to them. Let them know that we appreciate their support. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Sit tight and chat. We're going to do that giveaway here in a second. Other than that, you guys got any closing words? Anything you want to push? Plug?
John,
Check out their channel, folks. They're looking at me.
We appreciate you having us on here, Mark. We've really enjoyed it.
All right. I'm glad you guys came on. So sit tight. We're going to do the giveaway here. I want to tell everybody on the podcast, good night. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Get out and fish. All right, folks. Now I'm going to share this out. We're going to do the giveaway here. Let me share out this. We'll talk a little bit while they're doing this. Let's see. StreamYard, Screen 2. You figure I would have this under control already. If you want to get in to win a Catfish and Crappie bait towel, they're on their way to me, so probably won't ship till next week. So sit tight, folks, but you will be added. I got a couple other prizes I need to send out, and people know who they are. I apologize for that, but we're going to get that done hopefully this week, hopefully over the long 4-day weekend. Weather's changing. I needed to take care of a bunch of stuff before then. So if you want to get a Catfish and Crappie bait towel, they're black towels, embroidered Catfish and Crappie logo on there. Enter in hashtag bait towel, and I'll make sure to get that out to you as soon as I get it. There we go. We got some people entering. So also, I want to remind everybody in chat here that the Catfish and Crappie merch store will be 35% off this Friday. So you can always go, if you're on your phone, to the About page section of the channel, or you can go to the main page on a computer or a tablet, I believe, and click on the link at the top or on the About. I think it's on both of them. And this Friday, if it goes there, you can get 35% off your total order. So cool. We'll send links to that in the community tab come Thursday night. And hopefully I can talk Chad and let me plug it on his channel. I doubt it, though. He's kind of mad at me. One of the most necessary pieces of fishing equipment. You ain't kidding. Especially if you're eating.
Absolutely.
So you guys fish. Are you fishing Thursday night, or are you just hosting, Dustin?
Just hosting.
Okay, cool. Good deal. You guys got any plans to fish this weekend?
Well, they're doing the Ohio versus Cooper on Saturday.
Yes, they are. Oh, I meant to bring that up during the podcast too, because you guys fished this weekend. I totally zoned on that.
Yeah, well, most of us did. Well, we fished, yes. Team James River did a fantastic job. Two Stands and I struggled mightily that day, but the rest of the team held their own and pulled their weight. But hopefully we'll get another chance at Tennessee, and we'll take them down next time.
You know, we are going to do the 1 versus 1 in the spring here. We'll do the March Madness on my channel. Definitely. We're going to get those dates out there. So
Nice.
Make sure that you guys, if you're in chat or whatever, you can always put in to get on that as well. And I see that Eric over at Super Smurf is saying Catfish and Crappie hat. Those hats are on their way in the same box as those bait towels, Eric. Just so you know, I will have them come Friday. Haven't figured out what I'm going to charge for them yet, but they're going to be in line with everybody else. So it won't be anything that isn't bacon towel from Uncle Jeep. You see that, guys? Look at this.
Bacon towel.
Who doesn't love Uncle Jeep, man? Me and him both have a passion for bacon.
I've noticed.
We do. We definitely do. All right, guys. Last call for the giveaway. We'll give him another minute, and then we'll draw. We got 30 people in there. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it if you did. S&T Catfishing says it's all about the team.
Absolutely.
And take down, make sure you get it all one word, buddy. We got people looking out for each other on chat. John Boys told them, how you doing, John Boys?
If I could say one thing, I know we're almost up to that 1K for subscribers, but our viewing hours are are not quite where we need them to be. So if y'all can go out and watch some of our videos, help us out a little bit in that area, that'd be fantastic.
That can't hurt. We can do something like that, definitely. So give them some watch hours, folks. Go over to Team Snaggin Whiskers and turn them on and let them roll while you're working or while you're cleaning the house and so on. So
appreciate
it always
that.
helps. My recommendation is do some marathon lives. They'll get you a lot of hours. Hours. Tell people to share you out in their community tabs and all over, and you'd be surprised how fast they add up. So hey, there's Mr. Chavez. How you doing, Mr. Chavez? All right, guys. What do you say we do this draw so I can let you guys get some sleep on the East Coast there? It's got to be getting late there. All right, here we go, folks. We're going to do the giveaway here. This is for a Catfish and Crappie bait towel that will get shipped as soon as, well, probably the day after I get them. So, and keep an eye out on the community tab. Hogleg Catfishing. Congratulations, Hogleg. I think I got Hogleg's address. If not, he knows how to get in touch with me. Congratulations, Hogleg. You heard the what's going on with that. So cool. I can't think of a better man that could put that to use. There's Ernie Brown too, and Chrissy Brown. How you guys doing? All right, folks. So thank you very much for coming in and giving me your time and being part of the Catfish and Crappie podcast, guys. You guys are awesome. Sit tight. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Right, thank you.
We'll see you Thursday night. Bye.